Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Chris Saunders.
And I'm Charisma Robinson.
New details about that exigency order, which will last for 100 days since the passage of that monster storm called Matthew.
Leading off tonight, Clint Watson tells us what items are included in that order and those which are prohibited.
According to the government and the National Emergency Management Agency, residents will be allowed to import goods valued at $3,000 or less without NEMA's approval once they accompany their goods and complete a NEMA application and a C-18 customs form accompanied by their baggage form. In these instances, customs will be able to provide approval at the border. Individuals importing goods on a customs form C-13 home consumption form may do so without prior approval from NEMA, provided the value of the goods being imported is less than $10,000. In these instances, individuals must complete a NEMA verification of damage and request form for the replacement of building materials, electrical, plumbing fixtures and materials, household furnishings, appliances, and generators, and a customs officer of a rank no less than superintendent will be responsible for approving the release of the qualified goods at the border. Now, it's important to note that individuals seeking to import goods under the exigency order on more than one occasion will be required to obtain prior approval from NEMA. In all other instances, and for the importation of motor vehicles, NEMA approval will be required prior to the clearance and release of the goods. You should also know that the NEMA verification and replacement request form for damaged motor vehicle form must be completed. Now, if you are a business that has suffered damage and is seeking to import goods under the duty and VAT benefits in the exigency order for foreign and local purchases, you should have a valid TIN and must obtain prior approval from NEMA before the clearance and release of goods. If you're a local business interested in selling duty-free and VAT-free qualified goods during the designated hurricane recovery period of 180 days, you must make application to the Hurricane Relief Section of Customs Department by completing the required customs form. Once they receive the form, then your business would be permitted to make duty-free and VAT-free sales to qualifying customers. Businesses are required to ensure that customers submit signed NEMA application forms and copies of identification before duty or VAT-free sales are finalized. Forms are to be submitted monthly along with sales invoices to the Department of Inland Revenue through the online tax administration system for verification. In cases where customs duty have already been paid, businesses can also apply for the refund of duty previously paid. Now, it's important to understand that individuals qualifying under the exigency order and purchasing building materials, electrical, plumbing fixtures and materials, household furniture, furnishings, appliances, and generators may make purchases from local business and may do so without prior approval from NEMA if purchases are less than $10,000. For purchases of more than $10,000, NEMA approval is required. The Ministry of Finance is making it clear that clothing is not covered by the exigency order and is considered a relief good. Duty and VAT-free importation of clothing is subject to the approval of the Ministry of Finance. Such approval will only be granted prior to the arrival of the goods. Now, with regard to the exigency order, individuals and businesses found to be guilty of fraud will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.